Spanish colonization. Spanish was the first colonizer of the Philippines all the way back in 1565 because Spain controlled the Philippines so early and for so long. They were massive influence to the modern Filipino culture. The biggest influence still seen to this day is the religion. The majority of religion practiced in the Philippines is still Roman Catholic at 79.5%. This is highly apparent because the goal of Spain at that time of the rule was to convert as many countries into Roman Catholic as they could. Another Spanish influence is seen in the art, as most forms of the Filipino art is heavily Spanish. The painting and architecture reminiscent of classic Spanish pieces and can be attributed to artists that came Spanish to create and construct buildings with Spanish influence. Second, the American democracy. The Spanish rule finally came to an end after the Spanish-American War concluded with the American taking control over the Philippines. At this time, the main goal of the United States in the Philippines was to turn the country into a self-sufficient capitalistic democracy. The U.S. did this by creating infrastructure that would improve the literacy and the economy of the country. As a result, literacy doubled to about half by the 1930s, and a fourth of the educated population will speak English. This way, a massive influence for the Philippines, or the Filipino culture, as English became a dominant language alongside of the official language of the Filipino. Official language of Filipino, that United States did not focus on the religion like Spain did. They helped create religious freedom for the people of the Philippines. Third, the Japanese occupation. The plans for the Philippines to finally gain the independence went downhill as Japanese invaded the Philippines and took control. There isn't nearly as much cultural influences that the Japanese occupation had on the Philippines as Spain or the United States had. This is because Japan did not offer any support to the Philippines during the short time they occupied the Philippines during the war, as these were times of conflict. However, there has been a good amount of influence that is seen today to come out of it through infrastructure and trade. There was enough time for Japan to establish any permanent influence that did manage to improve infrastructure by building majority highways, bridges, airports, railways, and ports. This was improved transport of troops and goods during the war for Japan's benefit. But after the war, it served the people of the Philippines well as the improved means of trade and transportation.